Anthony Joshua is receiving a lot of criticism for his performance against Jake Paul. Now look, I wanted to make sure there's a few days after the fight before making this video because I wanted to look online and see what people's reactions were. And there've been a number of, criticism that is, put towards Anthony Joshua's performance and the way in which he went about getting rid of Jake Paul. Now look, some of the criticism is fair and some of it is just not fair. It's just over the board. So let's have a look at what people are saying and let's react to it. I am quite interested to know what you guys think about it. How do you reflect after the fight? And what do you think about Joshua's performance? Some people are saying it took 6 rounds for Joshua to get rid of a YouTuber, someone that has no experience in boxing. Some are also saying that this performance proves nothing because Tyson Fury will absolutely annihilate Anthony Joshua. This performance shows that Anthony Joshua has not improved or hasn't learned anything. Some are also saying this shows that Anthony Joshua has not learned much from the Alexander Usyk camp because Usyk is a great fighter, and if Joshua is in Usyk's camp, then he should be able to get rid of Jake Paul in 1 or 2 rounds. This fight should not have gone past 3 rounds, and that's what people are saying. Look, I understand the criticism because I had some criticism for Anthony Joshua. When I did the watch along and I saw the way the fight was going after round 1, I thought, what is going on here? I thought, what is Anthony Joshua doing? Right? I was screaming at the screen saying, cut the ring off, stop following this guy, cut the ring off and let your hands go. And it just felt like Anthony Joshua was not able to cut the ring off. And that was my only criticism for Joshua when I was watching that fight, thinking, what are you doing? Cut the ring off. Why are you following this guy and let your hands go and get rid of him? I thought, just like many people thought, that this fight was going to go maybe 3 rounds the most, right? 3 rounds, Joshua is going to get rid of Jake Paul. That's what a lot of people thought, and that's what I thought. So I do understand where some of the criticism is coming from, but I think it's just, it's going overboard because there's a few things to take into consideration. So let's look at the first one. People say that Anthony Joshua took 6 rounds to get rid of Jake Paul. Johnny Nelson did an interview, and Johnny Nelson knows boxing. He's an ex-cruiserweight champion. He knows what he's talking about. He said it is harder to knock a fighter out when they don't want to fight. And he made a comparison to Jake Paul to journeymen, right? Journeymen are really difficult to knock out because they know how to survive in the ring. And that's what we saw. Jake Paul knew that he had to run. And he ran. He ran so much that he kept falling on the canvas and, tackling Anthony Joshua. It was like a rugby tackle, really. And trying to take Anthony Joshua down like he was in the UFC, right? And that is always difficult for someone to get knocked out when they are spoiling the fight, when they are doing things that, makes it difficult for the other fighter to land shots. So Jake Paul was not there to be hit because every time that Joshua got close, he clinched, he got on the canvas and he rolled on the floor, right? And even he, he behaved, he pretended like he's been hit, down below. So Jake Paul was doing everything he could to make sure that Anthony Joshua does not get the chance to knock him out. So that was what Johnny Nelson was saying. So look, people that are saying that it took Joshua 6 rounds to knock a YouTuber out, I say, look, it's going to be difficult for anyone to knock Jake Paul out if he decides to run around and they have to chase him. Now, as I said, my only criticism is Joshua should have cut the ring off better. Joshua should have cut the ring off better instead of following Jake Paul, just cut the ring off. So, look, I understand what people are saying, but also we need to take into consideration the way Jake Paul came into the fight and his tactics for the fight. And then the second point, people are saying that this performance shows that Anthony Joshua cannot compete against Tyson Fury. Look, boxing is not 1 + 1 = 2. Boxing is very nuanced. Boxing, and something that we say in boxing, styles makes fight. And, Jake Paul, the style that he came into fight, the way he was fighting, falling on the ground and tackling Joshua, Tyson Fury is not going to fight like that, right? Tyson Fury is not going to get in there and fight like a coward. Tyson Fury has a lot more pride. Tyson Fury is going to come and fight. So Tyson Fury is going to give Joshua a hard time. And Tyson Fury is 6'9" or 6'8". He's a massive target. He's not going to be hard to hit. Joshua is going to find Tyson Fury in there to land some bombs on him. So, and Tyson Fury is also going to find Joshua to land some bombs because Joshua is 6'6" or 6'7". He's massive as well. So styles make fight. Tyson Fury, we know, has got the herky-jerky style. You know, he's there to be hit, as I said. Good head movement, good foot movement. But Fury has always been a fighter that has been knocked down, right? Between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, Fury has had a lot more, knockdowns against him than Anthony Joshua. So Tyson Fury is susceptible to the straight right hand. He's susceptible to a left hook, which Alexander Usyk landed. Tyson Fury is there to be hit. So it's not going to be the same. If anything, Tyson Fury fight will be easier for Joshua than the Jake Paul fight, because Jake Paul was running away. Joshua had to chase him. And that always takes a lot out of a fighter. But if someone comes and stand in front of you and try to bang, then that's going to be, an opportunity for you to land some big shots as well. So I don't see the correlation between this fight and Tyson Fury fight. If anything, this was a tune-up fight for Anthony Joshua to get ready for Tyson Fury. And I think Joshua is going to use this opportunity to, maybe got some rounds in, as he did, right? He knocked Jake Paul out in 6 rounds, to be able to get into the Tyson Fury fight and make sure that he's, shaking off some time that he's been out of the ring. So, look, as I said, I understand the criticism, but we have to take things into context sometimes and really go from it. I know that people love, giving Anthony Joshua stick, but sometimes it has to be in context to be able to make sense of the things that happen. And then the third point, people are saying that Joshua is not learning anything in the Alexander Usyk camp, and that, he's just there. And if it was Usyk and Jake Paul in the ring, Usyk would have knocked Jake Paul out quicker than Joshua did. Look, it takes some time for any fighter to gel with their new training team. It does. It's been proven over the years in boxing. Maybe you've got an anomalies, right? You've got some fighters that gel really quickly with the training team and they're ready to go and they're ready to fight. Some fighters take a bit of time to get used to the training style, the strength and condition, the things that the coach want them to do. And sometimes that takes a bit of, 1 or 2 more fights to see that in a fight, or to see that in a fighter. So I don't think Joshua is not learning anything from Usyk's camp. I think Joshua has not been able to implement the things that he's learning from Usyk's camp, because number one, he's fighting Jake Paul, who is giving him nothing to work with. And number 2, it is his first training camp with that camp to be able to learn something. So I think we're going to see more of that if the Tyson Fury fight happens next. I think that's where we're going to see Joshua's ability to adapt with the new style. Or if he has another tune-up before the Fury fight, I think we're going to see more of the things that Joshua is working on. I saw a video of Alexander Usyk teaching Anthony Joshua, about landing the right hand, but using the hook instead and using the jab and then pivoting on your right to land the right hand. So I think, it'd be interesting to see what Joshua learns from Team Usyk and how he goes about, fighting with that style. For me, I think they are the best team in boxing, Alexander Usyk team, because look at Usyk. They drill him very well. They're militant. They're very disciplined. They're very professional. And I think Joshua joined a really, really good team. But I think that will only come into fruition when he fights, someone, a real boxer, that would give him something to think about. So look, it is not all doom and gloom for Anthony Joshua. I was expecting a better performance, just like many people were expecting a better performance from Anthony Joshua in the Jake Paul fight. But he got the job done. He should have cut off the ring much quicker. That way, he would have gotten the job done even earlier. But he did get it done. He's getting some criticism. This is boxing. It happens. Boxing is a sport of opinion. So I understand what people are saying. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. How do you reflect on this fight? Do you think the criticism is fair on Anthony Joshua? Get in the comment section and let me know.